Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In this episode, we are going to be looking at some Xyhiphoe stuff. That's where we left off. I don't think there's too much craziness going on here. We basically just need to bring in a little bit of coal for the red hot coke, and then we already have filtration media. The fish food we will get via the fish, which is a little interesting. It is cheaper to make fish food this way, right? Than the real way? I'm not actually sure. Like, if I didn't need the fish, should I make fish food with this recipe instead? Because the ratios here, I mean, the power, I don't know. Bones? Yeah, this is not worth it. I mean, you need more than one bone, more than one skin. You need fish anyway. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. We need, I mean, it's a lot less, obviously, but still. And fish does give skin and bone, but then there's tons of 3 flora each. I mean, 3 Fuwoji each. 1.5 seaweed each. 2 plastic each. Fish food is just expensive. There's no two ways around it. So yeah, I think this is the best way to make it, because these are all pretty cheap things comparatively to what we were just looking at. Biomass is plentiful. Lamps are cheap. Filtration media is fairly cheap. It's annoying to make, but in total it's not that expensive. And I'm doing this version, right? I don't remember. Mainly the activated carbon, that's annoying. But you know, if you actually look at the numbers that we're spending here, it's pretty small. Can we do the coal dust from fiber yet? We can. At some point I'm going to need to set that up as a supplementary coal dust input. Anyway, okay, so let's see, what are we doing? So the Xyhiphoe, I think I'm going to fit it right here, just because it makes sense to put it right there, though we are getting a little tight on space. Maybe I could fit it down here. Maybe I can fit it down here. How big are these ones? Oh, they're pretty small. Nice. Okay. So that makes this even better then. So yeah, why don't we just... I think I'll actually do two repo complexes. For Xyhiphoe, and that gives us some expansion potential. And then let's see, red hot coke off. How do I want to do all this? There's a lot going on here. So thing number 1 is we'll need to import, this is normal priority, we'll need to import some nitrogen. But that's a so some gasoline, I guess, is more what we need to import. So we'll bring in the gasoline. Gasoline, the vampire queen. All right. Hit me in the comments if you get the reference. It's not a great, it's a stretch, but it was a reference. All right. Let's see. Coal needs to come in. Where can we do that? This thing is already overloaded. Bump that up a little bit. We have 84 stacks. Okay, so we are gonna need the filtration media. Phytoplankton's already here. We're gonna just barrel it on site with a loop. Fish food will bring down on a belt with filtration media, probably, because those are the two that come together. Okay, and then this needs sap. Sap is a new one. We don't have any sap needed. Oh, hey, we're gonna need one of these guys. Or that'll be sitting there forever. Alright, let's add a new station for weak side requester. And then a new station for... So that'll be coal and sap. And then... Do we need anything else? I don't think so. I'll just boil away the coke. Not worried about that. And then the nitrogen recycles, wastewater, we already have it dealt with. Steam is whatever, we can just void it. Yeah, I mean, I think we just provide the Xyhiphoe. Now, Xyhiphoe doesn't spoil, right? None of these spoil. Let me just make sure. Seems like it does not. Okay. Just good to check. We've been bitten before. Indeed, indeed. Alright, let's see. Weak side, multi-provider. Plop that right there. Mergey merge. We're missing Xyhiphoe pool. Did I not? I thought we did do that. Did we not? I did. Oh, it's missing the Xyhiphoe. Oh, right. I have to make the initial Xyhiphoe. Did we not do that yet? I think we made the initial larva, right? Wait, no, we have to make initial Xyhiphoe, otherwise it wouldn't work. No, I have to. They're just on the wrong channel? Yeah, they're on the wrong channel. Let me set up a situation here where we can move things into the proper channel. Okay. And then where's Roboport? How are we doing? Roboport coverage is good. I will extend though, right here. Alright, and then you're gonna be requesting coal. What's the amount here? 20 a minute. Sure. Let's do the full. Uh-oh. What just happened? What was that? Huh. Okay. Anyway, coal and sap. Is there a reason not to do 25 stacks? Not really. Not really. Alright, and then filtration media and fish food need to go on a belt together. The fishy food... Is there anything else that ever creates fish food? No. All the fish food we ever see is going to come from this area. Because part of me was thinking, should I just request fish food? It is possible that later I make fish food. So part of me feels like we should request fish food here. It seems wasteful. What else do we need fish food for? I guess that's the real question. This is it. We need it for fish, and we need it for Xyhiphoe. That's it. in the entire game. Okay, so yeah, we don't need to put that on trains then, because we are looking at the 2 uses for it. So then we need a belt of whatchamacallit, and fish food here, and then those can come over and down. Can we go across this? We can. Okay. So there is fish food and filters. And then this is sap and... what was it? Coal? Okay. Now I am going to need some initial nitrogen. I'm just going to DDC on air for that. It should work fine. Oh, don't get run over. Don't get run over. Don't drink the water. Okay, so do that. So we need the filter and the sap, so we need both here. No spoilage on that, thankfully, so those just go by. And then the rates, I assume, are pretty tiny, even when the crafting speed's tripled. Yeah. 3, 4, 5 total. Should be fast enough. Okay, phytoplankton, pressurized water. Do I have a pressure pump? I do. Alright, so pressurized water. Boom, boom. Wastewater hooks into the main wastewater, which I'm gonna pipe up here. So that should connect with all the wastewater from the other buildings. And boom. Okay, and then phytoplankton is right here. That'll come down and connect right there. Perfect. And then pressurized water. Okay. So that's all good. And then sap, filtration media, fish food. You know, we should do it like that. Just looks better. Alright. And then beep, beep. Power. Surely, surely I can do this with 2 poles. No? There we go. Alright. Simple enough. Okay, and then what I was doing up here was getting a, not automall, upmarking. No, not upmarking. Animal making. That's over here. I was getting a situation to go from channel 1 to channel 0. So we can do something like this. It'll request Xyhiphoe, and then I can delete the request, and now it's in channel 1. Perfect. So now we can make Xyhiphoe larvae. And finally, we can plop these down. Now I need to figure out what I'm doing with red hot coke, because the longer the belt goes, the more inefficient this becomes. So part of me is thinking we do... you know, a set of 2 like this. I think I'm gonna move them over a bit, so I have room for the Red Hot Coke before it. And then we're just gonna do a set of 8. I know we can't really handle 8, that's fine. I don't know, do I want to do across these like that, or do I just want to do 4? I never know what to do. I'll just do this. There's a lot of inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solids. Jeez. And then 1, 2, 3 out. 5 in and 3 out. I mean, that calls for sushi if I've ever seen, especially with no spoilage. And especially with low rates, right? With low rates on car insurance, you can save 15% or more on sushi belts. I know after the Vrauk incident of 2025, people might be a little gun shy about using sushi again, but wait, what did we just get? Nylon. Hey, the nylon recipe finished and then it got made. Nice. Nice lawn. Cool. All right, speaking of Vrauks, I forget, did we change something again? Or is it still gonna have the gap? Oh no, we measured the belt. Right. So we're seeing if that fixes it or not. Right, that's what we're waiting for. So we're at 16 minutes into this episode. So that means we're like 20 or 30 minutes into reading the full belt. Surely it ends up fully mixed, right? Like, my brain is having trouble comprehending how it could trend towards one specific part when we've got everything being red and a mixer. I think it's getting mixed over time. I really do. It might take a while. How could it trend towards not being mixed now? With this spreading items out when they get placed on the belt, it's gotta trend towards being more mixed, not less, right? Right? What I'd like to think anyway. Uh-oh. Wait, we've got moss issues? Wait, what? Are we not requesting enough moss? I'm requesting 50 stack. Oh, am I out of moss? I might be out of moss. Yes, we are out of moss. Cool. That's not a problem I had on my bingo card. 23 moss a second isn't enough? Wait, why does this one not get muddy sludge? I'm not making enough muddy sludge? 100 a second. I'm only making 75 a second. Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it. Okay. You know what? I really should just have some sort of system here, like, well, there's no easy way to do this part, I guess, because if we're gonna feed in that way, then it goes, yeah. Okay, ooh, this is cool. This could work. I don't think... Oh, I do have RoboPort coverage. Perfect. Okay. So then... How fast do these use water? 100? Okay, so we can do one of these. Okay, and then the muddy sludge. I think, let's see, how do I do this? So I think this works. So the muddy sludge will always be attached like that, which then means this one gets attached like that, and then this one here, let me just put this here, because if I'm gonna tile it, this is how it would go. So then the water, oh no, this doesn't work, because then the water has no way to attach. I guess I could just have two water lines. No, because then how does this muddy sludge attach? Yeah, no, there's no way this ever works. Alright. If anything, I just need to go like this. And then, actually, this works. Because then what we can do is put water on that side and muddy sludge on this side or something. And then it just hashtag works. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just doing random crap. I just want to be able to tile a bunch down later if we need to. Especially once we get Mark II moss modules. Moss-dules, as I've called them before. Alright, and then muddy sludge. Attach right here. Nope. Not attach right there. Where can I put it? Right here? Here we go. Alright, muddy sludge, water, dirt. Okay. Yeah, I think trying to make the ratios better just ended up losing me a lot here. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's far better to just have a 1-to-1. It provides 80% of what we need. So you would only save one soil, or you'd save on one washer, actually. This is washer inefficient, not soil extractor inefficient, and the washers are smaller even. So it just really doesn't make sense. Okay, anyway, that should pick up the... muddy sludge production. There we go. So now we're getting the amount we need. Technically more than the amount we need, which is good. So we should see moss production go... oh yeah, you can even see it probably used up all of the muddy sludge right there. And then we drop down to our lower production, and we should see a ramp up again. Crap. There we go. We'll see a ramp up after that quick decline. Okay, so anyway, back to Xyhiphoe. So we are gonna sushi this bad boy. And that hooked up. Okay. So we're gonna need a single basic oxygen furnace. Noshing on that coal. This is going to be the mixer, or the sushi belt. I don't know, I can expand it out as needed later. And then we need the compressor, which doesn't do anything except with fluid, so that can be wherever. That can be out here or something. Okay, so all the buildings are there. Except for like boilers and vents and stuff like that. So then we'll just do a basic in, out. That will be putting outputs onto the inside of the belt. I think this could all go on the same side of the belt and it wouldn't even matter, right? I mean, total rate we're talking is 0.1. Yeah, I mean, we're not even looking at 1 item a second. Maybe we're looking at 1 item a second if you add everything up. No, because a lot of that coal is not going on the sushi belt, and the sap is not going on the sushi belt either. So yeah, it's all just gonna go wherever. I don't even care about belt sides, and I don't need to. So we do need a little bit of filtration media. And why do we not have any fish food? Did I do that wrong? Oh, we're just not making any fish right now. Yeah, so what I need to do is, again, have a radar signal. That goes from Xyhiphoe here, that we trigger if Xyhiphoe is low. Or no, we don't hook up. Yeah. So we'll say fish render green from Xyhiphoe farm. So I'll put a decider here. And then we say if Xyhiphoe is low, and it stacks to what, 50? So if it's less than 2,000, 40 stacks. And fish in here is backed up, which is 45k. We're gonna need a red signal for that. I don't know where to put this. I'll just get it on the ground there. Alright, red. Hold on. Disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. I hate all the random power connections. They just make things look so much worse. I'm shift clicking, by the way, to do that. In case you didn't know, you could do that. It's super handy. Alright, so then fish is greater than 4,000. Because basically, if fish isn't full anyway, we don't want to render fish for no reason. This is basically a way to get rid of some fish, so that the fish keep running. And if fish are already running, we don't need to render fish too. Fish might be running for some other reason. Fish go in a lot of things, right? Fish might be going into these cridins, or cridrin, sorry. They might be going into xeno eggs. They might be going into Corlex. Who knows? Numal rations. So, anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. So anyway, fish, output, fish, render fish, recipe on green, which goes to the radar green. And then in our plant here, I have red signal. So it needs to be red signal. And I guess we need to use a different signal. We'll do something like let's do the vertical bar. Equals 1. Alright, so vertical bar, radar list, fish render, red, but it's vertical bar. For fish render. Alright. There we go. So that will send the signal. This is what I love about pyanodon's. It's just stuff like this. Like, the gameplay from Factorio is so emergent and cool. You would just never get stuff like this in so many games. Like, the amount of gameplay you get coming out of systems that you yourself created. But then the amount of control you then have over that system. In a lot of games, you can do things in harebrained ways, and it just won't work as well. But in this game, because of circuits and radars and all sorts of things, like, we have so much control over the systems that we can kind of do things however we want. And it works. There's multiple ways to do this in ways that work. Well, there are a million different ways we could get rid of fish, but this is the way that I've chosen to do it. And it's just so cool how that works out. It really is neat to me how that all works out. Okay, so we're gonna have a boiler. Probably... I don't know where. Probably right here. Can you measure a boiler? No. But you can measure the basic oxygen furnace. I can measure the steam in that. Finally. Okay. Put the water here. And then feed coal into the boiler. If steam, read contents, don't include in crafting, steam less than, what's the amount we need? 200? 201. All right. And then that works. We need to deal with the ash. We need to paste that where we have access to. Should do it. Alright, so ash here. Oop, that is not ash. Ash. It was giving us a washer, aka ash, with some other letters. Alright, so we'll fuel it up with that coal. This ash goes in there. That ash goes in there. And then this is fueled up and fed with that. Okay. And then we are gonna get coke back. And what I'd like to do is filter that for coke, because we're gonna get enough coke. And if it spoils, we'll have even more coke, because this decays into regular coke, I believe. So we can only get more, not less, than we need to run this bad boy. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the coke that returns filtered here. And then we're also going to feed any extra coke that gets past that into the boiler. And then if we get too much coke, oh man, we've really made this complex, haven't we? And then if I get too much coke, then we just too much coke and we vent this. So that can only run if we have coke greater than 200. All right. All of that is some craziness, but it should work. I'm gonna do 2 of these just to make sure we don't miss any. Speaking of emergent gameplay, this is nuts what we just did here. I don't even know if it's gonna work. I know we're gonna need to jumpstart it with something other than coke, don't worry, I'm aware of that. But I'm just getting everything set up here. I think that all does it though. And then the wastewater here, unfortunately we're gonna have to do something fancy like this. Water goes down to here. Those nitrogen hooked up. Okay, and then don't worry, I did see this as well. So phytoplankton actually should have a connection as well to over to the right, because we're going to need to barrel phytoplankton. And pressurized water is also needed, it's just on the wrong line. So that's kind of annoying, but it does work out. Pressurized water can come over and down like that. Okay. And then liquid nitrogen, huh? Did I just do a crazy? What am I doing? Did do it crazy. I was like mirroring it in my head or something. I don't know what I just did. All right, boom, boom. Okay, so those are set up, and then that one we can just do a basic T-junction from one end to the other. T-junction from one end to the other. So now those are hooked up. Okay, then finally we got this bad boy, which needs water, gasoline, just gonna put it over here. Gasoline, go down this way. Nitrogen, perfect actually. Can go this way, straight up to here. Like that. Water. I don't normally do this, but it just happens to work out with my spaghetti. We'll pass through the boiler. The rates here that we need are very low, so that's why it's fine. And then finally, this goes to here. And the amount of steam made by that is really small, right? 7 a second. Yeah, that's not very much. Just get rid of that. Okay, that should handle that. I do need initial nitrogen to get things started, and then we're good to go. And we should have enough nitrogen pipes for a nice buffer. Look at all that. That's great. Apparently we forgot power. Okay. Things are happening. Look at that. Look, we already made 1 million Xyhiphoe larvae. It's beautiful. Okay. So now, I don't know why I didn't paste all this. Curve that around. So let's see, our belt length is, what is that, 70 plus 40 is 110? Did I do that right? Yeah, 55 times 2 is 110. Okay, so 110 belts. And remember, 1 item per belt gives you 1.875 items per second, which is far more than we need. Throw a mixer on here. I don't like it right there. This should be longer. What do I have this for? Why is it going all the way up here? To fetch filtration media and fish food. Okay. So filtration media and fish food are just gonna get loaded on full belt reading. Here's the mixer. Now here we're mixing after, not before the insert. Still not sure. This Frauk thing is really breaking my faith in mixers. You know what? I think it's starting to balance. The planet is healing. The planet is healing. I think it's recovering. Because look, there's flora here, there's some flora here. There's a few flora here. Like, there's still some gaps, but I think it's getting better. Okay. So it is true that measuring the mixer will fix it. I still can't believe that a mixer this short didn't fix it by itself. I think that if we made the mixer shorter and shorter, it would eventually fix it. I think. Like, if the mixer was literally 5 tiles, like, I think we would have been okay. It's hard to imagine that would do it. Now I kind of want to test it. I mean, look, we're never gonna know if we don't test it, right? We've already tested this thing in 500 ways. Why not 501? I am gonna go fix it manually though, because it's annoying to have all the bots pick all that stuff up. Where is the Frauks? They're over here, I think. I really wish it would remember my selections here between saving and loading. That's one weird, like, I'd say the bar for Factorio's polish is higher than that, and resetting it, it's very possible that it's actually intentional. The devs decided, like, the upside of resetting it every time is actually higher than the downside. Personally, I don't prefer that. I prefer it to remember my settings, but it is possible it's already been thought about and decided that it's actually better that way. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And then this. And then that. And then we're gonna stop measuring it. And we're gonna see if it goes back to being clumped. If it clumps with a simple, what is that, 5 belt mixer, I'm gonna be shocked. I'm gonna be shocked. Surely it won't clump. But it also means it's gonna take longer to spread things out. If this is a good build and it ends up not clumped, the problem is now it's gonna take a long time for the mixer to actually do anything, because this mixer will deposit items pretty close to, you know, where they went in the first place. So that's the problem with a short mixer, is it doesn't actually spread things out all that well. I mean, if you think about it, 2 of the tiles are actually going in the same direction already, so it only spends 3 tiles going backwards to then get remixed in. So it's really not doing that much. Alright, let's see. How are we doing on this whole shebang? So, we need the phytoplankton barreling. So barreling machine, pretty chill here. I think I'll put it down on this spot. And then we'll just load all barrels directly in. Empties. And then we will load out into a chest, because we want to actually manage the count. Oh, we don't need to filter that though. Phytoplankton barrel, less than 20, 50. That gives us 0.9 barrels a second, and all we need is 0.074. Oh my gosh, I'll go down to 40. 40 of everything should be enough, right? More than enough, yeah. The thing we need the most of on the sushi loop is fish food, filtration media, red hot. Oh, we need the exact same amount of everything except Xyhiphoe larva. We need more. Xyhiphoe larva is the only thing we actually need reasonable amounts of, which is going to be on the backside here. Do we need Xyhiphoe larva for other stuff? Ah, shoot, we do. No. No, we don't. I mean, Arcad Mark IV. I'm not worried about Mark IV stuff right now. And then there is a turd recipe for nanofibrils, which I'm not going to worry about right now either. Alright, Xyhiphoe larva. So 100 would get us 1.875. 50 would get us 0.9 items a second still. Plenty of larva. Alright, so we get the output there. Cool. So that solves that problem. Power for that. Power for you. We're gonna head back over and make the DDC to make the initial nitrogen, and then we also need to run the basic oxygen furnace once or twice to get the initial red hot coke. And then once we have the initial red hot coke, that coke should be enough to run it to make future coke. And now we're not researching anything, which is weird. I should work on that. Sap upgrade? Huh, sure. And then what else? What did we need to do? Nitrobenzene. Oh, I know what we need to do. Nope, I need military science. Just kidding. I'll deal with military science another day. For now, we're working towards stainless steel in terms of research. All right, so then DDC. I don't have a DDC in my inventory. Wow, I haven't not had a DDC when I've needed one in a long time. Okay, this one. Pressure pump. Air. Where's power? Okay, so that's done, and then this can be the initial. Initial nitrogen. Uh-oh. That got corrupted, but it should be good now. Okay, oh, and we need a vent. And remember, this is just temporary. So we don't actually need to worry about, like, setting this up permanently. We just need to get enough in the loop so that all the buildings have enough to buffer, which I assume it's going to buffer 10 apiece. So we need 80 liquid nitrogen plus a bit more. I need a few hundred liquid nitrogen is enough to make me happy. All right, and then I need to move the Xyhiphoe over to there so we have a building that runs. And now we need to select the Xyhiphoe turd. Hey, what happened? Oh, there it is. Did I lose a button? I don't feel like the pie button was the one on the left before. I feel like I've lost a button. Xyhiphoe upgrade. We don't want acetone. We don't want that weird one. We want this one. That adds red hot coke. And liquid nitrogen. Cools off the coke. You get the hot and the cold. Makes it way more efficient. Selected. Oh, and I also need some empty barrels, don't I? Okay. Empty barrel. Could be forthcoming. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. What's happening? Stop, 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 stop. What? What? Why did I not? Rydax, what did you do? And why? Why did you do this? No idea why I did it that way. Alright. Well, we'll just fill those up with filtration media for now. Should be fine. Fish food and filtration media. Alright. We still have 130, that's fine. I don't care about that. Okay, so then we're gonna... Oh, look, I have 18 coke. So I can actually start it off the right way. Now, I'm not dealing with the ash from this building? Wait, I am. Oh, I'm not... Oh, that... Wait, what? How did that get sap in there? It shouldn't ever grab sap moving forward, so I think we're fine. Okay. And then we need a red hot coconator. Nope. Nope. What am I? Shift Q. There we go. Alright, and then you measure down to there as well. Enable red hot coke filter. Red hot coke or coal, just in case. I just don't want ash getting on this belt. Less than 40? 0.074. Realistically, what do I actually need? 0.074 divided by 1.875. Realistically, I need 4 red hot coke on the belt at all times. That's it. So I'll go for 10. I'll go an extra 2.5 times what I need. That's hilarious. Okay. And then the phytoplankton barreling. Wow, the barrels still haven't gotten here. Here they come. Alright, and then once the barrels get here, we're good to go. Sweet. Okay, I will say the automated insertion limit is 16 on all of these. So I feel like having this at like 20 is a little bit better. And what's the spoil time on this? The spoil time's 2 hours. So making 20 of those every 2 hours is essentially 0 coke that I'm wasting. I'm not worried about that. Alright, and then nitrogen-wise, we still don't have enough. Oh, we do. We've got 40 extra. It's all buffered, plus 40 extra. So we're getting close to having enough nitrogen. I wonder if rounding errors can kill this over time. Do you guys think they will? Or is it gonna work? Like, if you let this run, let's say for 10,000 hours, is it ever gonna fail? Because you're using 5 liquid nitrogen, making 50, then you're using 50 to make 5. It should run forever. But will it? Will weird fluid rounding issues cause problems or not? I'm actually genuinely curious. Oh, hey, we need phytoplankton. By the way. And phytoplanktonia comes down this way. Over this way and in. There we go. Okay, I should put the Xyhiphoe on a different side than the filtration media, fish food, and not that it matters. Again, everything could be on the same side with this, and it wouldn't change a dang thing. I think that's enough barrels, though. 50 total. Automated insertion limit of 16. 16 plus 34 is plenty. Given the rate is 0.074. Yeah, I'm just going to delete the requester. Okay. We're doing it. We're making our first Xyhiphoe. Nice. Okay, and then... So that all works. What we're gonna do to control the buildings... I do hate wasting spoiled items, but this is such a small amount I kind of don't care. Like, I was gonna say we could just have the Red Hot Coke only run if we need Xyhiphoe, but I think I'm just gonna limit the buildings on Xyhiphoe itself. Xyhiphoe. Less than 40 on the belt. And then we just extract Xyhiphoe. Filters. Xyhiphoe. Alright, and do we have enough liquid nitrogen for a while? 110. I think that's more than enough, right? Yeah, I'll let it run a couple more times. Cool. We made our first Xyhiphoe officially. And how fast is all of this? 0.15 Xyhiphoe? That's not bad. 9 a minute. Which comes out to 90 times 6, 540 an hour? Yeah. That's something. Cool. Okay, well, Xyhiphoe is done. So setup Xy is done. Setup fish rendering is done. Setup lubricant from excess fish oil is not done. I need to do that. So I'll leave that on my to-do list. Because it is not done. Now, where did that little bugger get off to? I mean, I should just let that run. But actually, though, where did that Xyhiphoe go? Did it get inserted into a building? No. I'm not actually sure. Because it would have been grabbed by this inserter, put onto this belt. Oh, wait. There it is. How did it just now? Because this was reading 0. Oh, it must have been on the mixer when I looked at it. Because that was reading 0 Xyhiphoe, so that must have been something with that. I don't know. Alright, it's not going to take too long to get all these started because they only get 1 module each. So we only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more modules, which we'll do in the next episode. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, we're going to call it an episode there. This has been a great one. I really enjoy setting up new alien life situations, and it's always nice when a plan comes together, which it seems like it has. Again, we are going to get some coke spoiling, but like 40 coke every 2 hours is not a big deal. Even if, I don't even think we'll spoil a full 40. So yeah, we're good on that. And I think we're good on all the ash stuff. It's possible I screwed something up, but I think we're okay. Because this one has stopped inserting coal because this has enough steam, but then excess coke that goes past the BOF will get pulled into this chest once the BOF has enough coke, which it will eventually, as far as I'm aware, because this runs at 5 megawatts for 3 seconds. So it consumes 15 to make 5 coke. But 5 coke is more than 15. 5 coke is 25 megajoules. So yeah, we have more power than we use. And these translate red hot coke into coke at a 1-to-1, which is the same if it spoils. So that's really nice that we get the same ratio of coke whether it spoils or gets used. I don't have to worry about like weird ratio madness if it's running versus when it's not running. So that's great. So as far as I'm concerned, we don't have to touch this again, except to put the modules in and then figure out the fish oil to lubricant thing. And then yeah, we'll see if the Vraux end up nicely balanced or not. It's not looking good, although there is a nice clump over here that's not totally separated out. Oh, they're just not running right now. Oh, well, that's gonna make things tricky. What the? Hey guys. What happened here? Shouldn't this say disabled by belt conditions? Oh, I have 3,300 Vraux. Wait. Whoops. Vraux don't stack to 100. Oh well. We should be fine. Once a shipment of Vraux or eggs gets picked up, it should go back to normal eventually. Okay, well, Vraux aren't running right now, so that will force this to get balanced out over time, which is good, because then that means next time Vraux get picked up, it'll have a chance to clump up again. Or not clump. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Now we're ending this episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one.